Spoiler alert, the following podcast includes discussions on film that may potentially, intentionally or inadvertently, reveal plot twists, character traits, story details, up to and including endings that might otherwise be considered spoilers. Proceed at your own risk.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Sounds like some bad movie.
All right, here we go.
You got enough ice in that soda?
What?
You got enough ice in that soda?
It's a water.
Dude, I just like all last episode. I just keep hearing it. It's like I'm not gonna say anything. And then I'm listening. I'm waiting in silence during the opening, and all I hear is, motherfucker.
Wait, this?
Yes.
Well, I'm out of water,
Yes.
so.
Great production value. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I need a straw.
Or less ice.
No, I put ice in my
Anyway,
ice, baby.
Welcome to Moviesucktastic, by
Yeah.
the way. I'm Scott, the noisy one's Joey. And we're on our final Best Picture nominee review. We're finally at the end.
The
This is
longest
one.
movie, the most expensive movie.
Avatar 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh my God. I can't with this.
Now, before we get into the film, we have to talk about this a little bit. One of the first episodes, not the first, I don't think, but like one of the first episodes we ever recorded of Moviesucktastic.
Episode
way
six.
Back,
Six.
what?
Episode 6.
Episode 6. What was the year?
2009.
Yeah, and that was that episode we reviewed Avatar. We went to the movie theater, the 3D, the whole thing. We gave it a shot. We were gonna be nice about it, and then we gave it like a tepid review after, and that blew up. And then I just decided, and I lost my fucking mind, and now here we are. He's managed to get out one sequel, and we're almost on episode 400 of our show.
Yeah.
And we did that for less money.
It's interesting. You're right. It's interesting that the first Avatar film is literally just the beginning, the roots of Moviesucktastic. We saw the movie when it came out in December of 2009, and we reviewed it the day we saw it, which I want to say was like, did we see it opening weekend? No, I think it was the week after.
No, we weren't that stupid.
I want to say that episode posted. Well, I'll tell you when it posted, but so it definitely. I also remember you had your toys because we went to. I want to say it was Burger King that won the. Oh God, it won the Avatar sweepstakes. Obviously it was either Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's, but.
I don't think I can change the batteries in these. Can you?
You probably have to break it to do that.
No, there's screw holes. You can take this apart.
Oh, okay.
I should look into that. I don't know. Yeah, I've got the lady.
The lady.
whatever her name was, Smurfette.
Doesn't care. Doesn't. I
And
mean,
then,
it doesn't matter.
I got the horsey,
The horsey.
the six-legged horsey, and then I got the flying dragon thingy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, none of the batteries work now. But yeah, I've still been hanging on to these for no real fucking reason whatsoever. But yeah, so we reviewed that and we didn't like it. And as time has gone on, many people have finally come around to admitting that we were right at the beginning, and Avatar wasn't a great film. I really don't even know who was asking for the sequel. You know,
nobody, because obviously it took him 14 or 13 years to do it.
Who
and it was
hanging
also
around for a decade waiting for that.
And it was also episode 7, not 6. Episode 7. And episode 7 posted December 22nd, 2009.
Oh, that was a shitty Christmas.
But we probably reviewed that the weekend before. Because back in those days, you know, we would listen to the whole episode and edit the show as we listened to it. Like any little like dead air, any noises in the background. We were like super, you know, anal about it. Now it's like, listen, this is it, warts and all.
Yeah, we don't edit anymore. What the fuck's that?
No, we live stream everything now. But that episode 7, December 22nd, 2009, it was a 49-minute episode. I remember you had the toys, and we might have video of it somewhere. If we do, it's probably lost. It was on your old laptop. That's what we were doing our shows off of in the very, very beginning. I remember you could hear it. I started making the toys hump each other, and I remember in the video, it's like, "Are you saying, are you done?" and I think I said something very childish, like "I'll never be done," or "This is always funny," or some shit like that. I don't remember. But if your toys,
I have to scold Joey.
If your toys were in front of me again, I would make them hump even now.
I know, that's why I have them.
Yeah.
I think there's a restraining order against my toys, against you and my toys.
I think you're right.
I'll have to contact our lawyers about that.
I think our lawyers. It's like, you two again? Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to find what I'm on Twitter too much these days. Here we go. So I live tweeted when I watched Avatar.
In 2009 or this one?
No, this one last night.
Oh.
And I don't know how to get to that first post because I also fucked up the thing and ended up like, instead of doing like a whatever they call it, a chain of tweets. Instead of doing one, I jumped on another one accidentally, so the second half was like attached to somebody else's thing.
Oh.
Like, I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, no one's reading them. I just did it like to keep notes. It's not like I've got followers or anything. It's under my own account. It's supposed to be an easy way to find it. Here we go. So I started with watching Avatar 2. Pray for me. And I thought if I go through here, just to give a springboard for the review, because I went from beginning to end.
Sure.
So my first tweet on the film is pretty. At least he's original enough not to start a second film with that crappy Blade Runner voiceover. Oh. Yeah. So I mean, like the first 5 minutes is just postcards, and then the voiceover comes in.
Yeah. No. I mean.
And I had my fingers crossed, like maybe he's going to go for something. No, this is going to be a carbon copy of the first one. We knew this. And I was not prepared for how much of a carbon copy of the first film this is.
Yeah, and it takes place like 16 years later too. So
I have a thing about that down here too. Say it took so long to make the sequel. Oh no, back. Is it a good idea for him to be pointing out that generations have passed since the first film? It's like, yeah, families have grown since you first saw this film, and you're here for a sequel.
Yeah, my first son wasn't even born yet when the movie came out.
Yeah, so the film takes place 16 years later. 15?
Yep. 16.
15 years later.
16.
So it's not exactly a 1-to-1 ratio, but since
Almost.
it's a different galaxy, we can give it some time dilation. Anyway, We're back on the Avatar planet, and they retcon the shit out of the first film to squeeze in. There's a lot of fucking and just babies everywhere,
Yeah.
cloning people. What the fuck is this about?
Oh yeah, well he had to bring everybody back from the first movie somehow. So
Why?
Quaritch, who's played by Stephen Lang, who was the guy from the first film, who honestly was the best part of the first movie.
Only, and I still say to this day, that film would have been great if he was the one that turned and ended up fighting for the Na'vi. You see, have the grizzled guys. I didn't sign up for this. You know, that's what I wanted to see. There's a character arc, not just fucking sad sack becomes a Smurf. Who gives a shit?
Well, yeah.
Sorry,
So
continue.
in the first film, he's killed by Jake Sully, and they
Brutally.
and they back up his memory, which you find out in this film. They back it up so that it can be put in an avatar. So he has all of his memories and everything, even though he is dead. So he's put in an avatar, and he wakes up, and he just goes absolutely apeshit. And then he realizes, oh shit, I've been brought back. But they go through great lengths to say, it's like, listen, I have his memories, but I'm not that person. When it's like,
and not only did they reveal that, oh yeah, we were planning on cloning a copy of him just in case.
yeah,
What? But beforehand, we didn't mention that he knocked up a pilot who died later, and so now he's got a kid on the planet.
Right.
But after
Spider.
he's dead, it's like here's one of my tweets. It took so long to make the sequel, they had time to genetically breed an Avatar army and clone the dead bad army guy from the first film, because apparently there's a shortage of army guys in this militaristic future. He's like, how about an understudy? Really? You just we gotta. What the fuck is going on with these people? And I have to go back again to a couple of things for the opening. Just we're still talking like the opening.
yeah.
Credits and
This is the
everything,
first 10-15 minutes of the movie.
After the comment about the voiceover, I was like, okay, still using subtitles. That's cool. At least he's not glossing over the verbal culture of this race he's created with some cheesy Hunt for Red October gimmick to avoid. And back on the voiceover, it occurred to me late after that. I was like, wait a minute, because the voiceover's still bugging me. Back on the voiceover, the first film used the personal video diary gimmick to explain why this guy was explaining the film to us. So is he still keeping the diary?
I don't fucking know.
What the fuck? It's like they even made a device in the first film to explain the shitty "we'll explain the movie to you" voiceovers. It was actually one of the more competent writing aspects of the film, giving that reasonable reason for that, and they just blew it away in this one. Now he's just talking to you, whatever.
You know, this movie, it's made a lot of money, and we've talked about it on the show before. How Cameron said, if this movie bombs, I'm not going to make any more sequels. And then, of course, he says, okay, this movie didn't bomb. I'll make the sequels now.
There's one reason why I want to see a sequel. One. We'll get to that.
Oh, okay. The third film was already finished. It's in post-production. So that's,
All right, so
that is
so
just going to
to
get tweaked for video and audio and special effects. But
so after the whole opening where they explain Quidditch is back and everything else and that, and they're heading towards the planet for another attack, they have them land there.
Did you say Quidditch?
Whatever his name is. What did you say, Quaritch?
I think it's Quaritch. Quidditch is from Harry Potter.
That's why I said Quaritch.
Okay, got it.
So when they come to, they finally land at the planet, like their landing devastates this like huge swath of land, like just like turns everything to fucking dust when it lands, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking, and here's my next one, my tweet. So this future is so advanced that they can grow Smurf clones and implant your memory in one on top of space mining, yet they don't have the resources to carpet bomb the surface to cinders and mine through the ashes.
No, apparently not.
It's not like I'm worried about the fucking ecosystem. And, But the main plot is like him coming back because the instead of creating a new character and a new conflict, they just brought the dead protagonist from the first film back to life. Protagonist, antagonist. I always fuck those two up for some reason. But they bring him back to life for just a cheesy revenge plot.
Yeah.
And then after they do that, they spend half the film with dysfunctional family shit.
Every fucking 5 minutes is something else.
After the second father-son moment, I was just like, oh, fuck this film. This is all gonna be between this and between the dysfunctional family bullshit and the learning how to swim sequences. You could have cut this film in half.
Oh my God, this movie should be an hour and a half to 2 hours max.
Oh.
Not 3 hours, 14 minutes.
I forgot it was 3 hours. About an hour in, I clicked the screen so I could see what the what time was left. I was like, oh, good. It's only a 2 hour film. It's like, oh, no, it's 2 hours left. Oh, I'm fucked. Right, and so not only did they do that with him, but now Ripley was knocked up.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We didn't bother mentioning that. Just went. Oh, all right, yeah. So somebody knocked her up too, so we can have a psychic baby.
Yeah, because Sigourney Weaver's character is one with Pandora.
Yeah, I mean, I might want to. Okay, so Ripley was now knocked up in the first film, in a brand new storyline with G.I. Joe knocking up a pilot before his death, just so we can have multiple storylines about these pesky child-parent conflicts. Drinking coffee with an exoskeleton is blatant grandstanding.
I saw that.
I guarantee you there's a button in there you can turn that off and drink your coffee like a normal person. What is that about?
Listen, Cameron is fucking fascinated by that shit. Like, that's why he had the giant, man-controlled robot things in Aliens that Sigourney Weaver rode. But you know what? It was cool in that movie. It's just stupid in this one.
I mean, all right. To be fair, I mean, everything looks beautiful. Like the train wreck, as stupid as it was, all the it's a beautiful. The special effects are spectacular. And if I was 12 years old, I'd be shitting myself.
I don't know.
But I was bored through a lot of it just because I know it's just special effects, and I know I already know there's going to be this huge spectacle because it's such a grandstand film, but there's no heart to it for me. It's just okay, now they're attacking. I mean, everybody shits on the Lone Ranger, and this is where I lose everybody. But God damn it, I enjoyed that film.
Yes,
it had too. Big extravagant sequences, but they worked. They were well done, and I had a connection to them. I don't know. This film just didn't bring me in, and I've had films change me. I am open to change.
Of course. No, this movie, it's too long. It's made way too much money.
So cliche too. Let's make sure the bad guys threaten the lives of children as soon as possible. Let's make every time they go somewhere, make sure they put a gun to an innocent woman's head, just so we can underline the fact that we're going to be okay. An hour later when they're all catching arrows with their face.
Yeah, which again, that's the best part of the movie. You have to wait 2.5 hours for it.
But by that point, I'm not engaged.
No.
I'm so tired of that point.
I'm not. And you know what's interesting? So my 12-year-old watched the first film on his own, and I asked him what he thought of it, and he goes, "It was all right." This is my 12-year-old. Yeah. And then it's the weirdest thing. The weirdest thing. After he tells me that it was all right. He saw the trailer for the second film, and this is like some weird voodoo mumbo jumbo that James Cameron has. I don't understand it, but he does. He's like, "Can we go see that in the movies?" And I'm like, "I thought you thought the original was kind of meh." He goes, "No, I know, but we should really go see this in the theater." It's like, even though my 12-year-old knows that first film is very mediocre, he was like all about seeing the second one in a movie theater.
I'll say that our criticisms of James Cameron in this context with Avatar is like just the same thing I talk about when did I just fucking lose it already? What I was about to say? Wow, that was quick.
It's gone, huh?
Yeah, 100%. Shit, I just started thinking about Danny.
Well, I was talking about him not.
I know. I
Oh,
just
okay.
forgot.
I was trying to bring you
pointed
around.
I
to
don't
see
want
if
to
you
belabor it.
Okay.
So let me backtrack then.
Okay.
When they stumble on his own body, his dead body from the first film.
Yeah.
The first thing I said to myself, I hope he takes the head. Take the head. Let's take the head with him. And then, so there was a moment there when I thought this film was going to surprise me, because then he like 5 minutes later, he reaches in and pulls his own skull out. I'm like, oh shit! Please tell me they're going to do it. Please tell me he's going to carry his skull around with him for the rest of this film and talk to himself. Please tell me that this film is already going to go that far. And then he crushes it. I'm like, oh fuck.
Pussy.
Yeah, it was so close to just being great. Man.
No.
Now, I remember you texting me when you said you were disappointed in the film. You specifically pointed out that you did not like the spider storyline.
I thought it was stupid and it's douchey. I mean, like he's running around with, he's like a little Tarzan, running around with a loincloth. He's no shirt. He's got fake tribal patterns on him.
Actually, you know who he reminded me of?
Who?
Wild Boy.
Oh, Wild Thing? Wild Thing.
Wild Thing. Not, Wild Thing.
Wild Thing.
With the Rasta hair?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was a cross between Wild Thing and the little kid from Mad Max, Road Warrior.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
A cross between those two, 100%. That's what they were going for.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah. So you got little fucking spider running around. And he's like the he's like adopted himself into the Na'vi, and they like him and everything, but he knows his father's the bad man. So then of course his father kidnaps him, and it does like the weird fucking bonding shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh look, it's like, oh great. So now they're gonna show us some human side. Is this gonna be like Mr. Smith, where he joins up with him in the fourth film, or what, third film, or did he do that? I forget. I haven't watched the Matrix in a while, but I mean it's like, I
haven't seen. I actually haven't seen the fourth movie.
Like, so by the third film or fourth film, Quaritch, Quidditch, whatever he is going to end up teaming up with Jake Sully.
And probably.
Yeah, and I'm already tired of it. And the kid saves him. Yeah, dude, he was in a. You're right about that. Hashtag Aquasmurf.
Aquasmurf. I mean, just his. Kind of weird and awkward, back and forth between the Sigourney Weaver daughter, the 16-year-old daughter.
Chick, yeah, I'm totally ignoring that storyline of the film, by the way.
But I mean, his back and forth with her is kind of awkward and weird.
All their kid relationships, everything, all the kid interactions are just fucking just.
It's very douchey. I mean, and
90s Disney weird.
And I'm calling it now. And there's no way I'm wrong. There's no fucking way I'm wrong. Spider will die, and his spirit will be put in a fucking Na'vi body, just like Jake Sully was.
I'm tired of this uploading, downloading shit. I'm really getting tired of it. It really serves no purpose.
But I'm calling it now. It's gonna fucking happen.
All it is like a plot device to keep everything moving. So, I know where they are. Here's another one. Future World has literal mind-reading technology, but they can't bioengineer a Smurf-killing virus.
Yeah.
After they kidnap Spider and they strap him into the spinning thing from Tron, it's like, what do you know? I know nothing. Jesus. But I forgot to mention, we were talking about the Rasta boy and his father, G.I. Smurf. I have while I was watching, I tweeted, Amber Alert, Rasta-haired wild boy teenager abducted by recently deceased G.I. Smurf clone father. Last seen near some trees.
And then obviously the new unobtainium is, what the fuck were the name of those whale type things?
I have it, but it's in
like the Tuca or something like that.
I'll tell you in a second. Because I this is exactly the point where I was so inebriated and watching this film that my tweet thread jumped to somebody else's tweet or whatever.
Oh.
So I'd written create a new biome so we can
Tolkien.
make more. What?
Tolkien or Took.
Okay. create a new biome so we can make more pretty Dayglow CGI wildlife, contrive a revenge plot by creating an entire new backside of fucking and cloning to force the gang into said biome, water fight, curtains. I pretty much had the plot down by this point.
Yeah.
You know where it's going 100%. Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah. No. Yes.
No, I just want to make sure I didn't.
No. So they're trying. So in the first film, unobtainium, which was a natural resource that was on Pandora, I'm assuming they still want to get shit like that. But the new thing are these whale-like creatures that live in water called the.
Oh, you looked it up?
The Tuken or the Tulkin. It's Tulkun or Tuk, whatever the fuck they're called. So they kill them, and then they extract like this. It's like their center core, almost like their essence, and it's an anti-aging liquid that they extract that I guess can be mass-produced, and you do not age anymore if you take this stuff. Obviously, they're sending this shit back to Earth. They only get one vial of this stuff. It's probably about a foot tall, and they say it's about $80 million is what
from
it's
each
worth.
one they kill.
From each one that they kill.
Yeah, like you're so far ahead of me on my Twitter feed. I'm trying to find the name of it. Oh, they replaced unobtainium with a whale brain juice called Amrita.
Amrita, that's right.
And I even said, okay, a step in the right direction. At least they replaced like unobtainium. They had to. I mean, everybody was fucking mocking that shit. There's no way they would. I don't. They didn't mention that once, did they?
I don't believe they did.
I think when they even mentioned how like there was a new thing in town, they didn't even mention what the old thing was. They were they were really distancing themselves from that. That was a smart move. They had to do it. I applaud that, and I applaud how they turned it more to okay, instead of exploiting the earth, now let's exploit the wildlife. And show another way that Western culture has raped the world, and I believe that's true. I'm not arguing that metaphor. It's just sci-fi. It's a lazy metaphor.
Very, but it's like this is my theory on these movies. This is my theory.
Oh,
so
real quick. Tweet: one of the Smurf kids just tamed a whale. Go ahead.
There's supposed to be 5 movies. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And I can guarantee you it's going to be 5 elements somehow. So, like, the first film is Pandora, so it's Earth, their planet. Whereas this film is water. There's going to be a fire. There's going to be an air. There's going to... who knows what else is... But there's going to be an element for each one of these fucking sequels.
Here's how in tune you and I are sometimes with films. The end tweet of my thread.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for Avatar 3, Lava World.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
The next one is bound to be fire, and if it's not, it's going to happen in either 4 or 5.
All right.
So
speaking of the kid that tamed the whale, they have 4 kids. Jake Sully and what's her name? They have 4 kids. They have the fighter. They have the psychic girl. No, she's not their kid though. She's like the 5th hanger-on.
She's been adopted by them.
Yeah, so they got the whale charmer, and then one of them dies. And I don't know which one.
Excuse me.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, it's the older brother.
Is it racist if I admit that I have trouble following the characters because the Na'vi all look alike? Is that racist? Because honestly, I don't know who the fuck I'm looking at most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, the only way you can tell half the time is if they have tattoos or markings in some way.
And I'm not checking for tattoos every time someone starts talking. Just give me a face I can.
Oh, and the whole time, the one military guy with all the tattoos, it's like, is that the Rock stunt double or something? And they gave him a part in this movie. Because that's all I'm thinking of.
What?
That's all I'm thinking of. Is like, this guy's the Rock stunt double.
I'm convinced the only reason he ever thought of doing a sequel was because they forgot to put sunglasses on them in the first film. And he's like, all right, we're gonna make sure we do that in a second.
You know what's crazy about that?
Have Na'vi with sunglasses on.
Somebody showed me a picture of one of the Na'vi, like with a whole outfit and sunglasses, and I'm like, that's not real. And they're like, oh, this is supposed to be a scene in a movie.
That's concept art, right?
And I'm like, there's no way. Kind of like the way MODOK looks in the Ant-Man and Quantumania. Have you seen that?
Not yet.
There's a picture of MODOK.
Oh yes, I've heard about it. I don't know. Are people pissed?
They're annoyed. I mean, we actually went to the movies.
I'm not a Spider-Man fan, so I don't give a shit.
What's Ant-Man? But
Ant-Man? Oh, it's Marvel. I don't care about Marvel is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
I'm not, I like the movies, but I don't care about like continuity.
The kids wanted to go see it. We took them 2 weeks ago. It was an okay movie.
It's a kids film.
It was okay. It was.
Yeah, it's for kids, right?
Yeah, it's nothing great.
It's their PG line for Marvel. Yeah, I mean, they're entertaining. I like the first two. I don't shit on them.
But MODOK looked fucking ridiculous. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna text you a picture of him. Right? I have it. I have it.
But here's my point.
No, if I had to see it, you're gonna see it.
Maybe it's like Mr. Fantastic, where there's no way you can do that outside of a comic book and not have it look fucking stupid. Yeah. I mean, what is it? A giant fucking head? How do you make that not look bizarre and stupid?
Well, I just sent it to you.
I'll look if you want me to. I'm just saying, some things just don't translate from comic book to the screen. You know, it's just reality. Right. You can't do everything that you see. How bad could this possibly be?
Oh, it's bad.
If this is a picture of your dick, I'm going to be very, very happy. No.
Happy.
Yeah, it looks like somebody's face. What else were they going to do? I don't see what else could you do with that? Unless you did it full
There's
CGI,
not much.
I don't know.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
I don't care. I don't know. They're being nitpicky. You got the man. When I was a kid, my superhero films sucked fucking balls.
Yes, this is true.
Take MODOK and like it. I should do that. You'll take MODOK and like it.
Like it, lick it.
Lick it, like it.
Lick it.
So anyway, what happens is G.I. Joe's on a rampage to get revenge on Jake Sully specifically because he killed him, and that what?
Jake Sully.
Yeah, Jake Sully. So they have an initial altercation. They kidnap one of their kids, or they try to, but he ends up kidnapping his own son, and so in order to protect the other Na'vi from what they now know is a personal attack against Jake Sully, they banish themselves to another part of the Pandora where they're a little green and a little webbed.
Yeah.
And then they spend an hour learning how to swim.
Yeah, and a
solid fucking hour learning how to swim.
Oh my god! And are they Na'vi? They're not Na'vi. They're the same, but like different. And they have like the weird arms. They have the weird arms, like they have like 4 fingers, but like the last one like goes into almost like a fin. It's to help them swim faster, tread water, and it's on their ankles and calves as well.
I'll say this. At the beginning of the film, when they kind of explained away Sigourney Weaver and the other baby like in like 2 sentences in the opening, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And I had to actually look it up online to make sure I knew what they were saying.
Right.
Like at that point, I'm like, all right, I need to do some research and figure out what's going on here, because they're just acting like this is everybody knows this. Is that how it is? Like we have to do homework before we watch a fucking movie? I'm supposed to know all this stuff? Yeah. So they can just like breeze through like that, but then spend five fucking hours of the film like scolding their children for doing. You have disappointed me. Oh wow, I'm watching a Disney film from 1987.
Previously on Avatar.
Right, but I went on a tangent and forgot where I started.
That's okay. I was talking about them having like weird arms and legs.
So my point was, by the time they actually got to the fucking water world, I was like, I don't care what they're called. Just go. Just swim.
And it's like they're a lighter blue than them. They're like a dark blue. And it's like, is that they're in the forest, so there's not a lot of sun, so their skin color doesn't get bleached by the sun, but these water people are always out in the water in the sun, and are like, if they didn't spend so much time out there and went into the forest, would they become more blue?
Yes.
I don't I don't
Well,
know.
it's like melanin. They're like there's it's different play on races and cultures and that kind of thing. Honestly, I was gonna tweet like Avatar 2 sea monkeys, but then I realized, oh, that may come off as racist. I don't know, because I'm obviously referring to the fucking things you'd buy in the mail, the brine shrimp.
Yeah, right. Which I had as a
Right.
kid.
But I felt like that was a line I wasn't willing to test on that one. It just yeah, it's the whole sci-fi thing. It's a metaphor for something that could have easily done by just having black and white people or Asian people or whatever, or different real life cultures.
Right.
But instead they create a whole fantasy world and call them blah 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 Navi. And so we see the cultural clash here as there's like another Western white culture, agreeably so, coming to destroy them like they always do. So, I mean, yeah, that's all they're doing. That's why that's another reason why the film's boring, because it's like, yeah, I know what you're doing, and it's like Alien Nation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Slaves brought to America, now they're integrating. I get this. Yeah, you're talking about the Chinese. And, it's just. It's a very cliche thing for sci-fi to do. It's always like, and it's one of the things I don't like about sci-fi, because it always feels lazy to a certain extent. Right. There's very few sci-fi films we've done where I've liked their metaphors or their whatever, the themes,
Analogies.
Yeah.
No.
Too drunk to think otherwise. But yeah, so after they spend all that time at the water world until you eventually have the big fight at the end, and in the middle of they're taming whales, and there's and we've got bullies, and now the bullies are friends with the guy again, because it happens in real life every fucking day.
Yeah.
And the father-son scolding and the psychic chick, which I'm ignoring that plot line. Not even it's not there. I'm not ignoring it.
There's one scene in the film which obviously a lot of this film is a ripoff of his first movie. So like Jake Sully, when he hops on that dragon thing in the first movie, and it's like he's able to connect with it and tame it immediately. So it's like, oh, this is his destiny, all of that shit.
He's getting the Jake Sully speed round.
Right. So in this film, he hops on this like dolphin type thing that swims through water, and he gets on it, and he's cocky as all shit. He's like, okay, you're gonna do it like this. He's like, I got it. So
it's the exact
no.
Thing the first film, but with dolphins.
Yeah, it's like, I got it. It's like, don't. And then he's like rides on it, and he's just like, then he gets knocked off, and it's like, well, you obviously don't know everything, but they threw that in there on purpose, because it's like, oh, like you knew it was coming. You knew he wasn't going to be able to do it on the first shot because he's out of his. It's not in his. I was just so aggravated by it.
This whole series is going to be about Jake Sully learning to do things he didn't know how to do before. Oh, look, I can walk. Oh, look, I can ride this dragon. Oh, look, I can ride this dolphin. Oh, look, I can golf. It's just going to be a progression like this. It's crazy. This guy's a walking, breathing character arc. All he does is progress.
Yeah.
Jesus. You really don't need to burn any more villages or threaten violence on women. We get it. You're bad guys. Please stop. Please stop. Why do we have to keep doing this?
Got to remind you just how bad they are.
Oh, and all right. I'm going to say right here now. I'll give the film a bonus here. Here we go. Positive. I have to admit the boat sequences were pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I like the boat sequence. They would have made a better Thunderbirds movie. But the boat sequences were engaging. It wasn't like Maverick level where it was like, okay, I care. It's like, but it was like they were well done. Like it wasn't bad. I like the boat sequences. I like the Deadliest Catch Pandora edition. And the most realistic thing about this film is that, of course, if you're going to a planet in another solar system, another galaxy, with this dangerous alien wildlife that you were going to come here and tame and try to protect from killing you at every 5 seconds, of course it's going to be an Australian leading it. They live that shit every day.
Although Jermaine, the one guy, the scientist, is Jermaine, what's his face, from the Flight of the Conchords. Yeah. He's actually from New Zealand, so I don't know if they're New Zealand or Australian, but...
No, he's Australian. I looked it up just to make sure I wasn't being nationalist.
So the scientist is from New Zealand.
Right, but he is actually Australian. I was like, yeah, those are the fuckers. Yeah, they their natural habitat tries to kill them every day.
We're hunting roos. You're doing what? We're hunting roos.
Now here's the one reason I'm looking forward to Avatar 3, because they better bring back fucking the whale Aussie with a harpoon for a hand. I want to see it, because he even had that line, "I'm the one with the harpoon." So he's gonna come. They took his arm off, and they didn't show him being dead. They specifically showed his arm coming off. He's coming back with a harpoon on his arm. I guarantee it. And if he doesn't, then that's a wasted fucking moment.
All right, let's do its nominations.
Oh, hang on, real quick. I was going to see if there's any other. I'm almost.
Oh,
I just want to
okay.
See anybody.
Well, I'll look at nominations while you do that.
No, hang on. I just want to.
I'm just looking.
Oh, by the way, what was this film rated?
PG-13.
You got to be fucking kidding me,
Yeah.
dude! So many people taking arrows to the face at the end.
Oh yeah. PG-13.
I even tweeted this. This isn't a family film, right? This isn't PG-13. It's like, man. Yeah. We already touched on the fact the climactic battle of the main two characters is the same climactic battle we saw in the previous film, right down, except it's more watery. And at the just before the credits, I can't tell you how surprised I was when that whale showed up to save them in the third act. I did not see that coming. That's pretty much all I had.
That's what we call foreshadowing.
I was going to get my notebook out, and I was like, let me try tweeting it. It became more of a hassle. I got to go back to the notebook. So we're looking at...
going backwards, visual effects, All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar 2, The Batman, Black Panther, and Top Gun Maverick. Obviously, Avatar wins this one.
Give it to him. I don't care.
I mean, it cost how much money?
Yeah.
What was the budget on this? I know the first film was like $400 million.
Really?
I want to say it was... There's no way. $237 million? It said... Well, okay, so... It cost between $280 and $310 million, and $150 million for promotion, which would make it $460 million. The first Avatar. So now, Avatar 2022, because the first film, they spent all that money, I bet they didn't have to promote it as hard.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely not.
So this film, $250 million.
You remember they were inserting it in the fucking episodes of CIS or whatever.
No, it was Bones, the TV show Bones.
Yeah, I knew it was one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about it, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously?" Because Bones was a Fox show, so it was 20th Century Fox, and this was a 20th Century Fox movie when it came out in 2009. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? They wrote the storyline in the TV show Bones of them waiting online, like days ahead in line, to go see Avatar in a movie theater.
Okay, that's my fault. We sidetracked on that.
We did, but you know what? I'm glad you brought it up.
What's the budget?
$250 million. They don't mention promotion, so yeah. I am sure it's in the $400 to $500 million range.
Yeah, probably $50 million promotion, because that's why they build franchises, because they sell themselves.
Well, they said it was $150 million for the first film.
For the first one, so like second one, $50 million, because it's already a franchise now. It's a known product. You don't have to spend as much.
See, Wikipedia says $350 to $460 million.
All right, whatever. So, I don't care. I'm just talking.
Yeah. Anyway, it said that it's. So there's an article that says it needs to make $2 billion to turn a profit, which I find that hard to believe.
All that's fucking made up bullshit. Everybody's made money before it even goes out. It's all a fucking scam. Moving on.
Yeah. Let's see. So visual effects, then
give it to him.
Yeah.
Production design.
All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar 2, Babylon, Elvis, and the Fabelmans.
All Quiet.
All Quiet. How does a movie get production design when it's all done on a computer? I don't understand the category.
Yeah.
I don't. Sound.
It's not physical. It doesn't seem tangible, but somebody is like saying what has to go where and making decisions on that stuff.
Right.
I mean, people are designing shit. They are like drawing and creating, and there is creative element to this whole thing. So there's a layer of that. I guarantee you think the same thing I think. Say, oh yeah, that shows what goes on the walls in the back, and it's probably so much more to it.
I'm sure it is. It's
So-
also up for sound. All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Elvis, and Top Gun: Maverick. It probably wins sound, but I wouldn't be surprised if Top Gun gets it. But there's so much sound in this movie. There's
All
just
these
so
films have
much.
sound. This is one of those categories where I fully acknowledge I know nothing about like the artistry or the work of the profession of the sound and stuff.
Right.
So I can't tell you if it's been done well or not. I just know what I like. So I really have I don't even try to pretend in this category.
And speaking of which, as far as like sound goes, I don't know if you noticed, but during the film, like the music sounded very reminiscent of Titanic.
Gee,
I know, obviously it's a James Cameron movie as well, but
what's
it sounded
the last good film this cocksucker made?
probably True Lies. I'm gonna go True Lies.
I just lost my IMDb page. God damn it! What am I doing? I'm on IMDb, but I go to search for Google. What the fuck?
You gotta remember, he's only made what 3 movies in the last 25 years.
Well, that's my point. Yeah, that's kind of my point. That I mean, when was the last time you made a film that like actually seemed like it was worth?
True Lies. I guarantee you, it's True Lies.
I'm just trying to bring it up because I don't trust my memory at this point, and apparently I can't navigate a fucking browser.
I'll do it for you.
It doesn't help that IMDb keeps changing their fucking format to try to make it more phone interactive, or just interactive, or just put a link in a list. God damn it! I gotta choose what I don't want to see and follow. So what do we call him? Director or writer?
Director,
right?
Director.
Okay, just director.
So he did Terminator 2 in 1991. Then his next film was True Lies in 1994.
I was just going to go backwards.
Well, I'm telling you, it's True Lies because after True Lies, it's Titanic, and then
Titanic,
and then Avatar in 2009.
Everything else is his Ghost of the Abyss shit.
Well, yeah, it's stupid.
Man, True Lies, Terminator 2. What actually kind of a short run. You got Terminator. I mean, we're not counting Piranha 2, right?
No.
Yeah, Terminator, Aliens, which I like. Aliens was the thing that blew me away with him. That's when I became a fan.
I love
The Abyss,
Aliens.
Love The Abyss. And then Terminator 2, great. True Lies, great. And then just fucking Titanic just broke them. I was like Titanic was like oh, now I can do whatever I want. Fuck, I'm doing this. No one wants that. No, I'm doing this.
Yeah,
I'm going to spend extra money to convince people they want that.
I mean, I guess we can count Piranha 2 as he directed it, but he's only directed how many movies? I'm not counting that Xenogenesis. Fuck that shit. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's only directed 9 movies, and that's
You're talking about 9 like feature films.
Feature
like,
films.
Because there's other things he's directed that he's
9 movies.
directed.
9
because you didn't
9 movies.
9. He's got other films, but like 9.
Fuck those other things.
I know what you mean, but I'm just trying to be fair. All right, I don't know.
Fuck 9
I don't know what got
movies.
over me. I'm sorry.
8 movies before December of 2022. I mean, come on. He's a fucking lazy bastard.
All right. Anyway,
but yes, the last thing he did that was worth seeing was True Lies.
Right. So for Best Picture, we know we reviewed them all now. We've seen them all.
Well, we're not done with the nominees.
I know. I'm just saying Best Picture now.
No, there isn't another one between Sound and Best Picture.
No, there's only 4.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. Unless my list is wrong, I'm pretty sure there's only 4.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck. All right. All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar 2, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. Yeah, no way this movie wins Best Picture. No fucking way. The fact that it's even nominated annoys me because it's taking up a slot for another good film, like, say, The Menu. The Menu should be nominated for Best Picture, and it's not because fucking Avatar 2 and The Fablemans are here.
You know that's been my argument about the adapted screenplay category this year, hands down. So
Yeah.
it's like every year they manage to completely fuck one category to piss everybody off.
Yeah. No, this movie doesn't win Best Picture. It doesn't even, I guarantee you it doesn't even really get votes for it. Like, it's not even going to be a threat. Everything Everywhere All at Once, calling it now, it's winning Best Picture.
Honestly, the only if the only two films on the Best Picture list I just don't believe deserve to be nominated, period, are this and The Fablemans.
I agree with that.
I'm not saying all of them deserve the win, but I'm saying even like on a nomination level, those should not have been considered. I just don't feel they're up to what I consider an Oscar film. You know?
No, I agree with you completely.
And I mean, I don't think Top Gun Maverick should be up there either. I would actually add that to that. I'm sorry, there's three.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, as much as I enjoy Top Gun Maverick,
dude,
it just doesn't scream. It just doesn't scream Best Picture to me.
It's not a good. It's not. I mean, it's a well-made film, but it's not an Oscar film. It's not fucking. There's nothing. It's a much better crafted film. Than
you know what I think? You know what I think? Top Gun Maverick. Why it's nominated? Because it's almost Hollywood saying thank you to Top Gun Maverick. Because before Top Gun Maverick came out theatrically, they were kind of teetering on shit. Is movies, are we done? Is anyone going to go back to the theater because of COVID? Spider-Man, which honestly spread the Omicron virus like no one's business. That truly, it did. It's like
I know.
Saturday Night Live did a whole bit on it and everything.
Moving on.
It was
Keep
funny.
moving.
Anyway, but even with Spider-Man, there were really no other films that were selling movie tickets. And then Top Gun comes out.
Yeah.
And then they have a great summer, great spring, great summer. And movies have been making a lot of money ever since Top Gun did it first. So I think it's almost like a thank you.
I need to point out, you and I have been having this conversation since episode 6.
Seven.
When they first expanded the Best Picture category from 5 nominations to 10.
Yes.
The only reason they did it was because they knew there was no fucking way they could get Avatar on that list of just 5 without being blatantly obvious they were just doing it because it was a fucking mega buster popular film.
Right.
And so they had to expand it to 10, and that's the only reason I think they nominated District 9, which I love. I think it's a great film, but I feel like they only nominated it to show, hey, see, it's not just because of Avatar. There's other stuff that never would have made it if we didn't do this.
Right.
We've been having this conversation since then, and it's still happening, obviously. But this is the repercussions of it. So they can squeeze in the Fablemans, the popular stuff that they want to worship, the backslapping, just Hollywood. This is where I almost sound like conservative when I start like Hollywood on this level.
Right.
I have no problem with them being liberals, but what the fuck's with the Oscar nominees?
All right, so those are its nominees. All right, let's rate this thing so we can get the hell out of here. It's currently way too high at a 7.6, which, although I'm glad that it's not in the 8 or 9 category, because, I'm hoping that people, or 7.8, I'm sorry, I hope they realize, it made $2.2 billion, and people obviously went to go see it because they were fans of the first film, or they got talked into seeing the second one. And I hope that they realize, like, you know what? I'm not going to even bother seeing this third movie. So I hope each film progressively makes less and less money.
Well, you know what I hope?
What do you hope?
That James Cameron goes down in his Titanic machine and it implodes on him.
Oh, yes, you have mentioned that before.
There'd be the video. The video will be live, and it'll be him. It's like, and this is the part where we think the Titanic's lead bow broke off and fell over to this piece, and you just hear a crack you hear a small little crack appears in the window behind him. Say, what was that? And then everything just goes gray. But yeah, 6 stars.
I fully agree with that. 6. 5 is.
5 would be spiteful.
It's better than 5. Ain't no fucking way it's a 7.
It's pretty. It's a pretty blue film.
Yeah. It's all
6
it is.
stars.
It's a nice looking movie.
But it ain't a fucking an Oscar film, just like it wasn't back then.
Fuck no.
All right. I love the fact that in 12 years, too, James Cameron is just doing the exact same thing he did. Like, there's no real... trying anything new, James? No, there's more blue stuff.
Yeah.
Same storyline.
All of his movies are blue. You ever notice that? All of them.
Well, when you're doing space sci-fi stuff, or when you're doing sci-fi stuff, yeah, blue's going to come up a lot. Robots, space.
He specifically picks a blue filter.
Well, yeah, I think in those cases... Maybe
but True Lies is not a sci-fi movie, and that movie's fucking blue, too.
No, that's not blue. It's like Dayglow.
Dude, there is a lot of blue in True Lies.
There's a lot of all the colors in True Lies.
There is blue is dude. Rewatch True Lies.
I wouldn't mind. I like True Lies.
I like True Lies a lot. Actually.
Oh, I heard they're doing a TV show
of True Lies.
Yeah.
Really?
Or a reboot. One of the two.
Interesting.
Let me look it up real quick. I heard it through rumor and innuendo, so it must be true.
Must be. But yeah, rewatch that
TV show came right up.
Yeah, rewatch that movie and you'll see how much blue is in it.
I really don't believe you.
You don't believe me? All right.
Who's the lead? Their top casts are in weird fucking order. I can't tell who's what. Ginger Gonzaga and Erica Hernandez and Steve Howie.
Steve Howie.
I don't know who Steve Howie is.
Is this broadcast TV, HBO, Showtime? Like, what are we looking at here?
I don't know.
AMC. Is it gonna be
CBS.
lame? CBS? Oh fuck me! It's gonna blow.
Oh, no, it looks horrible. Just the picture looks horrible. Yeah.
I fucking hate broadcast television.
What?
No, dude. The last thing I watched on broadcast TV that I actually enjoyed was fucking Lost. That's it. Everything else it's just garbage. They hold back. I hate it when they hold back.
All the quality writers flocked to cable to do the 10-episode miniseries format that's so popular now, which the British, by the way, have been doing for fucking years. So
doing it forever.
They're finally catching on. But I mean, because they have more control over the story and everything, and they can do more. They can actually do real work, and now the dregs are left in broadcast land. I'm with you. I don't even know what's playing. Like, every now and then I'll walk through the break room at work. It'll be a commercial for whatever's new. Like there's like a thing with they're still doing things with like firefighters and paramedics. There's a firefighter thing, and who fucking knows.
I hate it. Chicago PD or what? Stop it.
CSI still on.
I don't know. I couldn't fucking tell you. I couldn't tell you. NCIS. Don't know. Don't care. Fucking please. No. I can't. I don't do broadcast TV. I hate it.
Broadcast snobs.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's just not good television.
No, I agree.
It's not. It's just.
Dude,
it's not.
You're tired. We're tired. We just reviewed 10 Best Picture nominees, and
24 episodes. Who the fuck? What the fuck?
And if you haven't seen our reviews of the other ones, catch them on YouTube or on many of the podcasting stations. You're listening to the one now, so wherever you found it, the other ones are there.
Yeah.
Unless this is like a teeth thing with the
Do you want some music behind you? You want a bed of music?
Who, me? No,
I'm
sorry.
It sounds like you're ending the show.
I didn't want to step on you.
You can end the show. I've been ending the show for hundreds of episodes.
Fuck it. Let me end the show.
All right, go for it.
Hit the music.
It's on.
You've been listening to Moviesucktastic, where we just reviewed... What the fuck was this film?
Come on.
Oh, Avatar, Stage Fright, Avatar, Way of the Water, Smurf and Turf, Waterworld. Coming soon, Avatar 3, Lava World.
Lava World.
I am Scott, that's Joey. Thank you for listening. We like to come here and review films. Loose review. We like talking about the films. We want to talk to you people about it. Thanks for listening.
You
You
people?
can call us at a number that I don't have, but if you're watching YouTube or whatever, it's down there. And you can also email us at moviesucktastic.com. You can listen to us on any podcast streaming service. What you want to do is get yourself down to the Edge, fuck Google, and go on Microsoft Edge. I'm whoring out the Microsoft now, and you want to type in there Moviesucktastic. It's a very unique name. That's why it is chosen, so you can find it without getting stuck on a porn site. Because every time you get stuck on a porn site, and then you can't get off.
You can't.
Or you can get off. Anyway.
Hey.
Yeah, but but we want interaction, and we want to review. And Joey, do you have any words of wisdom for us?
I loved you doing the exiting extra or whatever the fuck it's called. You should do it every week. My words of wisdom.
All right, I'll work on an actual script so I'm not just babbling.
She'll work on some bookends.
Yeah, I'll do that while I'm doing the synopsises. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Those are my words of wisdom. Scott.
Scott, do some fucking work.
Scott should get me some bookends.
Yes, I'm going to do that.
I think I heard that 5 years ago.
So once again, you've been listening to Moviesucktastic.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you. Who knows when we're gonna try? We're gonna go back to our format. We're gonna probably
You
review.
just ruined the ending. But now I know how that feels.
Yeah. We're probably gonna review Megan.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. We'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.